This is the audiobook for the book Slammed. If you'd like a physical copy of the book, you can order it using the links in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the channel Jasmine Jabbers. Give this video a like if you enjoy audiobooks. Now, enjoy this audiobook of Slammed. Chapter 6. Showtime. Trisha is outside the ring with her phone lifted and resting on a tripod. The camera is on the two men in the middle of the ring. She's not recording yet. She's patiently waiting for the word from her friend. The two men in the ring show totally different moods. Buck, the professional wrestler, shows confidence as he jumps side to side with a smirk, staring at his opponent. However, his opponent, Gabe, counts his fingers trying to remember the routine they have come up with. It's a bear hug, then a takedown, then, I think, a chokehold, Gabe recites to himself in a whisper. You sure you can do your finisher? Buck asks him. He starts to become concerned because he sees the worry on Gabe's face. Gabe tries to act confident. I got this. You sure? You missed me when you practiced it. I said I got it, Gabe fibs. In his mind, he thinks he will mess it all up. All right, Buck backs off. So, you ready? After a sigh and a deep breath with his eyes closed, Gabe answers, yeah, let's do it. Trisha presses the record button on her phone and slides into the wrestling ring under the bottom rope and stands to her feet. This match ends with submission or pinfall only. She makes the noise of a bell with her mouth. The match has begun. Both Buck and Gabe walk around the ring for a few seconds. Buck tries to go for one of Gabe's legs for a takedown, but Gabe dodges it. They continue to dance around the ring. Buck goes for his legs again, and this time, instead of Gabe dodging, Gabe grabs Buck's torso, using the bear hold technique. Buck pretends to struggle his way out of it before he counters it, spins around, and puts Gabe in a bear hold. It's now Gabe's turn to struggle. Gabe groans and then counters his bear hold with another bear hold himself. With this torso grab, he actually struggles to pick Buck up. He uses all of his strength, lifts Buck off the mat, and slams Buck on his stomach in the ring. Trisha almost cracks a smile, but she doesn't. She stays focused because being a referee is a very important job to make sure no one gets injured and to make sure she catches if someone taps out or pins their opponent. She calls the shots. She has to concentrate. Gabe rolls Buck around until he gets him into a chokehold, and with this move, Gabe actually applies a bit of pressure against Buck's throat. Trisha flops on her stomach and gets in Buck's face, which is now turning red from being choked out by his friend. Do you want to tap? Trisha asks him, even though she already knows the answer. No, I won't, Buck promises. Trisha stands and observes them closely. Buck presses his lips together. He uses all his force to roll backwards on top of Gabe, forcing his neck to become free of the hold, and he's now on his feet. Gabe quickly stands on his feet as well. They're now both facing each other with defensive stances. Gabe launches at his friend with a kick, but Buck dances around it. Buck grabs Gabe's hand and pulls his arm with all of his might, forcing Gabe to run the ropes. Gabe runs against the ropes. He's running toward Buck. Buck goes for a clothesline. Gabe ducks the clothesline and runs to the other side of the ring. As Gabe hits the ropes and runs towards Buck again, Buck catches Gabe, lifts Gabe over his shoulder, and body slams him. Gabe hollers in pain, and he's not exactly acting. With little to no remorse, Buck falls on top of Gabe's body and lifts his leg. After checking to make sure that both of Gabe's shoulders are to the mat, Trisha counts out loud while hitting the canvas with the palm of her hand. 1, 2. But Gabe kicks out just before the 3 count. Trisha stands back up. 2. She raises 2 fingers in the air as if she's showing an audience that it was only a 2 count and not 3. Ugh. Buck pretends to be upset. He shows it on his face. He gets in Trisha's face. What do you mean 2? It was a 2 count. It was 3. Count faster, Buck yells at Trisha. 2. Trisha responds. Buck looks back at Gabe, who is still on his back from the impact of the body slam. He stomps over to Gabe and grabs his hair. Ow. Gabe lets that slip out because of the real tug against his scalp that he's feeling from Buck. He gets to his feet. The next thing Gabe knows, he's in the air again over his friend's shoulder, getting body slammed. Gabe experiences a sense of deja vu as Buck tugs at his hair again to lift him to his feet. This is it, Gabe thinks. This is his moment to shine and to get the audience to cheer for his comeback. Give the people something to cheer for. He's hurt. He's in pain. Furthermore, he can barely breathe. He's sweaty. He just wants to hop in a shower and get fresh and clean again. Despite all of this, he thinks that he needs to prove to himself that he can finish this match. Gabe shoves Buck off his hair and slaps his chest so hard, sweat flies from Buck's pecs and onto Trisha's face. It was obvious Trisha was used to sweat. She didn't seem to care. Gabe pushes Buck, runs the ropes, and clotheslines Buck 3 times in a row. As Buck stays on the floor after the third clothesline, Gabe lets out a roar. Trisha's eyebrows raise at the sight of a confident Gabe, but the confidence only lasts a few seconds before Gabe falls to his knees. He is tired, out of energy, out of breath. His knees simply gave out. As the referee, Trisha gets on a knee next to Gabe. Can you finish the match? Gabe thinks about it. He wants to say no, but he also wants to win the money that's at stake. Gabe struggles to speak. I got this, he tells Trisha. He slowly stands and looks at the ropes. He walks to the ropes and goes under the top rope and stands on the outer ring. Trisha stands and watches him, making sure he doesn't faint. Buck clears his throat as he continues to lie on his back impatiently. Gabe takes 2 more breaths and slowly walks like a zombie to a corner post. He takes another huge breath before climbing slowly to the top of the rope. Trisha squints her eyes with fear as she watches Gabe stand upright on the very top of the ropes. With hope and faith, Gabe leaps from the top and connects a stomach splash on top of Buck. Buck acts dead. Gabe, with a groan, struggles to lift the leg of Buck in the air. Trisha slides on the mat and bangs her hand on the ring. 1, 2, 3. She makes the sound of a bell with her mouth, and the winner is Gabe. She sings. Gabe stands, holding his ribs with his arm, and walks over to Trisha. Trisha stares at him. What? Aren't you supposed to lift the winner's arm? He proudly proclaims, still in pain though. Trisha rolls her neck, annoyed at the fact that he's correct. She grabs his hand and lifts his arm to show he's the winner. Ow. Gabe quickly pulls his arm back down to his side so his hurt stomach would stop throbbing. This is the audiobook for the book Slammed. If you'd like a physical copy of the book, you can order it using the links in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the channel Jasmine Jabbers. Give this video a like if you enjoy audiobooks. Now, enjoy this audiobook of Slammed. Chapter 7. Wrestling is. Although he had just wrestled Gabe, Buck made sure he performed the proper care and procedures for the aftermath of the match. Gabe had to take an ice bath because of the cramps pounding in his left calf. He did not like that one bit, nor the bath. The shivering was ridiculous, and he wanted to get out of the metal tub after 2 seconds of being in it. Unfortunately, Buck did make him stay in the ice bath for a whole minute. He explained that ice baths are good for reducing inflammation and pain after a good workout. Since Gabe had never wrestled a match before, he definitely needed it. Afterward, the 2 of them stretched together while Trisha was watching the replay of the match on her phone. Trisha changed clothes very quickly, and she was now wearing her hair down and had on a pretty, light blue dress with a foreign design on it. Buck and Gabe both changed clothes in the room where the wrestling tights are located. What did you want to eat anyway? Buck was always so indecisive with decisions like this. What about your fave? Seafood. You're so wrong for that, Gabe yells. Buck lets out a laugh. I'll never forget that time you threw up your shrimp on that one girl. What was her name? Forget you, Buck. Buck laughs. Was it Haley, Holly, or Hatley? Dude, it was Jill. Oh. Gabe shakes his head in disappointment. The two men walk out of the room and see Trisha in her dress, watching the playback of the match on her cell. The sight doesn't faze Buck. However, Gabe smirks in approval. You can see stars in his eyes when he looks at her. Nice dress, Gabe tells her. Terrible stance, she responds. What? I'm watching the match. Your stance sucks, she explains to him. Gabe stares at Trisha. You're welcome? Buck comes up behind Gabe and pats his shoulder. He whispers in his ear. I don't even know why you bother. He pats Gabe's shoulder 2 more times quickly and takes a seat in a chair by the water dispenser. Gabe slowly walks in pain and sits beside Buck. Suddenly, the song She Works Hard for the Money by Donna Summers comes from Gabe's side pocket of his pants. He takes out his phone and looks at the caller ID. It's his mother. Really? That's your ringtone? Buck teases him. It's iconic. Gabe answers and puts it on speakerphone. Mom, you're on speaker. I'm with Buck and his co-worker named Trisha. Hi Susan, Buck says to the phone. Oh my, Susan says through the speaker. Is that my boy, Buck? Gabe rolls his eyes. It sure is. How's my girl doing? I am great, just missing Gabe. I'm used to having him in the same city as me. He's all the way over there, so it's been a little awkward, like something's missing, but I can't complain. I'm alive and well. Gabe smiles at the kind words his mother says. Being alive is always an amazing thing. Listen, your boy here just wrestled a match with me. Wrestled? Like in the ring? Susan questions, concerned. Yes, ma'am. Gabe puts the phone to his mouth, and I pin Buck, beat him, fair and square. Buck puckers his lips at Gabe, annoyed, and his eyebrows narrowed. Gabe clarifies into the phone. Of course, he agreed to that. Was it hard to keep up, son? Susan wonders out loud. Gabe glances at Buck before responding. Let's just say I thought it would be easier than it was. Susan laughs before stuffing a potato chip in her mouth. She was still on the couch, watching the television just like she was an hour ago. Buck and Gabe hear the crunching sounds through the phone. Mom, he knew he would regret asking. You're still eating the same bag of chips? Oh no, honey. This is my 3rd bag of chips. Susan stuffs another chip in her mouth. Hey, Susan. Buck takes the phone from Gabe. I wanted to apologize for not answering any of your calls. I've been a very busy man. Susan is in awe. Don't worry about it. I know you have a busy life. It wouldn't hurt to hear your voice from time to time though, so I can know you're alive and doing okay. Of course, I'll do better to make time for you. But if you're really sorry, Susan continues, I'd love some Mania tickets to the next show. Buck chuckles. How many do you need? Oh, I'd say about 3. For me, one of my friends, and Gabe. This gives Gabe a pleasant feeling. Done deal, Buck agrees. Love you. And you too. Take care of my boy while you're down there. And no more fighting. I don't want Gabe coming home to me with broken ribs or a broken arm or something. Lord knows what a wrestling match looks like. It's dangerous. He's an accountant. He's not built for all of that. Buck, Gabe, and even Trisha cracks smiles at Susan's motherly remarks. Gabe takes his phone back. Buck and I are about to go eat, so I'll call or text you later, Mom. I love you. I love you even more. Be safe. Bye. Talk to you later. Gabe hangs up the phone with a smile. He looks at Buck. Wait until she finds out I hurt my stomach. So you admit it? Buck claims. Gabe's eyebrows narrow in confusion. You admit that wrestling is real? I said no such thing. Gabe denies. Now where's my $500 Buck? Buck takes out his wallet and takes out $500 in cash. He waves it around in Gabe's face. I will give you this money when you tell the truth. That wasn't part of the deal, Gabe states. So just give it up. He tries to take the money out of Buck's hand, but Buck is too fast. Truth, Buck says, or you get nothing. Gabe looks at the money, then looks at Trisha. He sighs. He looks at a cup of water beside him and drinks from it. Silence. All right. Gabe starts. Wrestling is a predetermined sport where the wrestlers know the outcomes of the moves and who the winner is supposed to be at the end of the match. He glances at Trisha again, and he sees her arms crossed. However, the pain experienced from each move is real. The physical labor of the sport itself is real. The feeling you experience when you get pinned or pin someone is real. And I can only imagine the application of those feelings when a real audience is involved. Gabe stands and continues. A sport is a sport and can never be fake because real people are doing real actions with real talent. So regardless of people knowing the outcomes, wrestling, just like any other sport, is real with real physical dangers. Buck stands. After he looks Gabe in the eyes, he hugs him. I'm glad we get to see each other again, old friend. Gabe smiles and hugs him back. Friends always. After they hug, Gabe looks at Trisha. You know, you can get a hug too, if you want one. Gabe flashes his teeth at her. You're right. Trisha walks to the two men, looks at them, and then only hugs Buck. See you tomorrow, Buck. She walks to the exit door. Buck hits Gabe's shoulder and laughs at the sight of a heartbroken Gabe. In the hopes of turning his friend's frown upside down, Buck slides the money into the palm of Gabe's hand. The money doesn't change the sad look on Gabe's face as he watches Trisha walk away. I sent Buck the video of your match to his email, Gabe. He will forward it to you. Trisha hollers. When she reaches the door, she turns back around and looks at Gabe. Oh, and Gabe. Yeah, Gabe has hopeful eyes. That wasn't Buck's water. Trisha exits the gym. Gabe's face drops. He looks at the cup of water he drank from, and then looks at Buck. It wasn't, Buck confirms. Gabe gags, trying not to vomit. That is the end of chapter 7. If you enjoyed this audiobook and want more of them, make sure to subscribe to this channel and support this channel with a comment or like. If you'd like a physical copy of the book, you can order it using the links in the description. Thanks for listening.